Hey everybody, it's Rory from ANS Gear, and we're going to look at a loader today. This is the JT Force loader. So this is an electric loader, so it's spinning a impeller inside of there, and it's getting basically over the feed neck so that it can drop down into your gun. There is a slight bit of force feeding to it. It is not a constant pressure force feed kind of loader system. It does help push the balls down there. But once they get to right about here, they're still relying on gravity really to pull them down in there. It runs on one 9-volt battery. It has a standard just flip lid on it, and it is compatible with a universal speed feed should you want to put it on there. And it does look very similar to the old JT Revolutions, just has a different bottom to it now. A little bit more robust, I guess, would be the proper word for it. We're going to take one apart. We're going to open it up, put the battery in it. You can see how it spins and what it does and how it physically works inside there. It is a constant on loader though. So when I push the button with a battery in it, it will start to spin, and it will continue to spin until I push the button again. It doesn't have an eye system or a sound system or a microphone, whatever you want to call it, inside of there. It just constantly spins. So in a stealth application, if you're going to use this loader, you probably want to turn it off when you're not using it, or when you're trying to be sneaky. For tournament style paintball, speedball, whatever that happens, it really doesn't matter. It's just going to spin. It's noisy on that field anyway. So let's go ahead and take it apart. We'll talk about it. It has one button on the back. One button. There is a little like clear cover right here for what you would think would be an LED light. There isn't actually one in there. It says in the instruction manual that that's not for this model. I don't know if there's another model. I think there might have been one called the E-Force at one time that maybe did have a light and maybe had an eye as well, but this one does not. So no light, just a button. It's got 5 screws, 1 in the front, 2 on the side, and 2 on the bottom. So let's just take those out real quick. They're a nice large threaded, almost like a wood screw style thread. So they go in and out pretty easily, but they also strip very easily. They'll strip out the plastic housings. So just be careful. When you go to tighten them up, just make them snug. Don't overdo it, and everything should be fine. So we've got those all undone. The 3 fall out. Sometimes these ones will stay in, so you don't need to remove them. Once you get them all out, you can just pop that right off. You see that you've got the top section of the raceway right here, the whole lower raceway, the paddles, and the board on the back right here. So one 9-volt. There's a compartment in there that looks like it would take another 9-volt. You could actually fit that one in over there as well. If I put it on this side, you could probably store an extra battery inside of there if you wanted to carry a 9-volt that was a spare. It'd be a perfect place to put it in there. Doesn't seem like there is anything blocking it on this side, so it should fit and go together just fine. So we got our battery in. We'll turn it on. You see that it does not stop. If I put my finger in here, it still spins. So like I said, constant action, constantly spinning. I want to show you what it does or how it works, because you might think, man, if I've got paint in there and it's trying to feed it, it's just going to crush it. It's going to make a mess out of it. It actually doesn't do that. So let's go ahead and put some balls in here. Now this is Redemption, which is typically what we use when we're doing demo stuff up here. So it's a pretty fragile ball. It's not the strongest ball. It's a tournament grade ball. So I'm going to put my fingers over these so it can't pop them out. But you'll see what happens. Like that. It just rolls right over the top of the ball. So the paddles are so soft that when they hit that ball, they don't force it really forward. They give it a little bit of a nudge, but then scoop over the top of it. It just rolls right over. You can see it's kind of spinning that ball around there. So they're very, very gentle on the paint, actually, but still give it enough pressure to push it along. So let's put it back together. Put our front one in. Do those there. Now I've got 2 pods of paint we're going to run through, and as you can see, it's still a mix of ball. It is some Reball, which can always give a loader a problem. Certain rear loaders work better with it than others. It's got some redemption in there, some HK paint, some toxic, mostly reball and redemption though. So let's go ahead and scratch my eye. Put my hand over the bottom, open up the lid, and we'll turn it on, and we'll dump in the first button. 140 here. See it just chugging along on the inside there. I'll go ahead and drop it out. So far, so good. There we go. So it's not the fastest loader that's out there. Obviously, some of the other ones that are on the market, which are way more money, are going to be faster. But it feeds standard paint, feeds reball, feeds a mixture of all sorts of things. Some of those higher end loaders can't feed reball. They just have a horrible problem with it. The only downside to it is it just keeps spinning. Whether that is important to you or not, I don't know. It's something to definitely consider, but it works. 1 9-volt battery, it's gonna run forever. It works, it loads. You know, for today's paintball that really isn't going too fast anymore. A lot of gun speeds or balls per second have been dropped way down. So you don't need a crazy fast loader. You just need something that can work and be consistent. So definitely check it out. JT Force Loader, it's available through the website. Order yours now through ansgear.com.